It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is CarEdge Live for Monday, August 4th, where the memo said, wear black. And damn it, we did. Your host today, as on most days, me, Ray, here in Ventnor. And, well, Zach, the good-looking one, he's in D.C. How are you today, handsome?
Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here on CarEdge Live. Today's show brought to you by us, damn it. We got no sponsors this week. Don't worry, they're back. They're back next week. But this week is all CarEdge.com. Buy a car without the headache. Take advantage of all of our incredible resources that we and our team have put together back at CarEdge.com. So cool. So many great things over there. In particular, we've got the AI negotiator going. And Dad, if you tuned into Friday's show, you saw that we actually made outreach to a dealership about a BMW at the beginning of the show. Let's go here. The target price we're shooting for on this vehicle is $53,154. Let's come in here and let's see what progress we have from our AI agent. This is an AI agent representing me. Looks like it's requested the out-the-door price, trying to avoid phone calls, no current BMW loyalty rebate, application for conquest. We're targeting an OTD price, so with taxes and fees of $55,600. The dealer initially quoted over $58,000, later adjusted to $56,936.
Yes.
Press further price reductions, fee waiver to bridge approximately the $13,000. So let's view the chat history here, folks. AI sent this message, dealership responded with that. AI sent this message, dealership responded. Dude, we got a whole negotiation that's happened.
Let me ask you a question. If we get to the out-the-door price we're asking for, do I have to buy the damn thing?
Oh my gosh, Dad. We did this. Look, it's literally doing this all day Saturday.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So we got the out-the-door price down over $1,000 from their original quote. It's pushing for $55,600. This is so cool. Wow, there you go, folks. I shouldn't act too surprised because this is literally what the system does. But there you go. We did this. We started this on Friday. That is our AI negotiator in action. Go to caredge.com/AI to check it out. Yeah, Phil, congrats, man. You've been building this thing like crazy. Okay, Dad, we got to spend less time on the ad. We got to talk more about what's going on in the new and used car market. Today's show is going to be talking about the used and new car summer market update. And I want to start here, Pops, on the new car side of things.
Yes.
Justin has already compiled. Juan says, way to waste the salesman's time, guys. You got to start somewhere, Juan, and we're proving the point that this thing works. And who knows, maybe my dad will buy that BMW.
You never know, Juan. And then the salesperson's time wasn't wasted,
Not wasted. Dad, we've got here the 10 best car deals in August, and there was something very interesting here when we start to look at these, which are lease deals. Ford, Dad. Offering under $500 a month lease deals with just $499 due at signing on the F-150, as well as the Explorer. I think that's the theme for the new car market as we move into the summer months. You're going to see a lot of lease deals here as these automakers try and fit folks into payments.
Well, as we've discussed, there's two ways to keep payments affordable, whatever affordable may be, but to keep payments affordable, there's two ways to do it. You can either continue to extend the term of the financing for the vehicle from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 10 years, or you can come up with cheap leases again that, well, guess what? Encourage people to come back and get another car in 3 years, as opposed to being, well, buried in the 7-year loan that they took if they try and get out of that vehicle in 3 years. So yes, we're seeing leasing make a comeback, and that to me is a wonderful thing.
I mean, you know, whether it's a wonderful thing or not a wonderful thing, I think it's the reality of summer car shopping is if we continue to go through this list of the 10 best deals we currently have, you're just going to see lease incentive after lease incentive. The escape here as well, Dad. Ford is not known for their aggressive lease deals, but here they are coming out with sub $500 payments and sub $400 payments with very little due at signing. Another one here for the Bronco under $400 a month. And then what gets interesting, Dad, is if we keep scrolling down here, I'm gonna pass through a few of these. What I want to look at is Mazda, the CX-90, Dad, the PHEV. They are offering $10,000 in lease cash, and you can get an offer of $285 a month for 24 months. It's with $4,000 down, but still, this is one of the largest lease cash incentives I have ever seen. And it's again indicative of what you're going to find if you're shopping for a new car in the summer of 2025. These dealers, these OEMs are pushing leases to try and get you into payments. And again, to your point, you could extend the loan term or you could lease. You're bullish on leasing. Regardless if you're bullish or bearish on leasing, that's where the incentives are going.
Well, the reason I'm bullish on leasing for the industry is that in 24 months or 36 months, depending on which type of lease you're getting into, the dealership has a used, newer, low mileage vehicle coming back to them. So it will help the used car market moving forward. There has been a shortage of high quality, younger used cars for the last couple of years because there was so little leasing being done in 2021, 2022, and that dearth of lease returns has impacted the used car market. This, even though it's 2 to 3 years away, should help things then.
Well, flip it on its head, Dad. Industry take, sure. What's the consumer take on that?
What's the consumer? Well, I mean,
most of our audience are people thinking about buying cars, not people in the industry. So I want to get your take on both sides.
No. Well, most people out there, as we have discussed any number of times, are payment buyers. 85% of the buyers out there are concerned with what their monthly payment is. Only about 15% of the population that buys cars walks in and can actually afford to pay cash for the vehicle. So the vast majority of people out there are more concerned about what their monthly payment is than anything. So with the cost of automobile insurance having gone up, with the cost of maintenance having gone up, it is becoming harder and harder for people to afford a payment on the purchase side of things, unless they go out to 7 years and 8 years and things like that. So from the customer's perspective, the average new car payment today is $750 a month, and the average term is 70.5 months. Okay. So if you can lease a vehicle for 36 months for $399 a month, that seems eminently more affordable to people than the 7 years or 6 years at $750 a month. And if you realize most people are payment buyers, it means they're always going to have a car payment. They're never ever actually going to fully own the vehicle because most people never keep them long enough to pay them off. They trade them in.
And then Dad,
this makes sense.
To your point around leasing, the benefit of leasing from a customer standpoint are for the people that watch this video today. It's probably 2-3 years from now that it'll show up in the used car pricing that you see because people will return their leases. So there's a net benefit for the industry, but there's also a benefit for consumers. It's just a little bit down the line. The benefit today, and the reason I'm bringing this up as the title of today's show, is because in summer 2025, you're going to see more and more headline offers like this, which to your point, for $285 a month for 24 months, why not take advantage of that? Or Ford, who, Dad, we actually should acknowledge. You and I said that July was going to be a very slow month for the auto industry. It actually ended up being a very strong month for the auto industry, with Ford leading the way in many ways, growing their sales. Well, Ford is looking to continue to grow their sales. And how are they doing it? Lease deals, which is not typically how they operate. They typically do not put strong lease incentives out there. And obviously they are. And I encourage everyone to please, when you're doing your vehicle research, type in Lease Deals CarEdge. Skip the Mitsubishi sponsored post up there at the top. We have all sorts of lease deals and lease related content back on the website, caredge.com. So please take advantage of all of our various resources there that can help you get the best deal. So, Dad, the key takeaway on the new car side of things, and we'll talk used cars for a second here. The key takeaway on the new car side of things: lease deals, lease deals, lease deals. That's what you're going to see. You have negotiating leverage on the new car market right now because there's a growing supply of inventory. However,
Yes.
Sales for July were stronger than expected. And so maybe that's not as strong as we had been predicting about a week, 2 weeks ago, based on June numbers. We will get inventory data in about a week here. So we'll see shortly. Let's talk about the used car side of things, Dad. And I'll lead with a headline that really demonstrates the stark difference in the used car market. If you're looking for an under $20,000 used car, Godspeed. Very, very, very difficult. If you're looking for an over $20,000 used car, there's some availability, but the quality of that available inventory is questionable at best. And we have some of the latest Manheim market insights that we can look through as well. But generally speaking, the used car market's a little bit more stable than the new car market. The inventory levels have stayed the same. The sales rates have stayed the same. Used car prices continue to be quite high. That's kind of the lay of the land as we head into August.
And part of it has to do with the fact that there's such a shortage of quality used cars. And I, many people who are new to this channel will have no idea, but I believe it was 2 or 2.5 years ago, I did a solo video where I explained why there was going to be a severe quality used car shortage, probably for the remainder of this decade. And the reason for it was the decline in leasing in 2021 and 2022, when the manufacturers were selling everything they were making, and they didn't want to support leasing, and all of a sudden dealers are running out of used cars, and dealers were overpaying for used cars, so the value of used cars spiked. And with the return of leasing, and like I said, it's going to take 24 to 36, maybe even 48 months, which still takes us out to the end of the decade. But with the return of putting an emphasis on leasing, the manufacturers are assuring themselves and their dealers that there'll be a high percentage of people coming back to replace their leased vehicle 24 or 36 months from now.
Yeah.
And that will lead to many, many, many more high quality used cars out there.
But again, that's 2 to 3 years down the line. The market,
absolutely,
for the time being,
it's something to look forward to. So for the next 2 years or 3 years, are we still in the situation that we're in today? I'm afraid so. Do I think that situation will continue, where there will continue to be a shortage of high quality, low mileage, young used cars? Absolutely, there will be. But at least we can look. There's now suddenly light at the end of the tunnel when there had been no light for the longest period of time.
I think that's really well said. The used car market has looked like a pit of despair for the past 5 years, because you take all those new cars out of the market, you introduce all the inventory coming from repoed vehicles, which, to be clear, not all of the inventory is coming from repo vehicles, but the repo check-in rate is quite high. The amount of vehicles that are making it to dealer auctions and ultimately onto the lots at dealerships, more of them are repoed vehicles today than they were in the past, and fewer of them are those lease return vehicles. So it has been a really negative situation. And right now it's more stable, and then it seems to be potentially going more positive 2 to 3 years out. Hopefully the people that tune into this channel are thinking about making a buying decision sooner than 2 to 3 years out. But if you're able to wait that long, I think that's a good estimation for when the used car market looks a little bit different than it does today. For the summer, however, I would expect less volatility in the used car market than in the new car market. There are certain brands on the new car side, Dad. For example, Ford trying to liquidate specific vehicles with these lease incentives. Let's go back to that list. Or Mazda, obviously, with the CX-90 PHEV, they're trying to get rid of this thing. Or even the Subaru Outback, Dad. Why are they being so aggressive at 1.9% financing for 72 months? Or what was this? This is the Hyundai Palisade. Remember the Hyundai Palisade?
Yes.
Used to sell with additional dealer markup. So the volatility, and it's 0% financing for 60 months and up to $1,500 cash and a 90-day payment deferral. The used car market will be much more static than the very dynamic and volatile new car market. And the new car market's going to look different for every single make and model. Toyota's not offering deals like this, but it's also shocking to a degree that Hyundai's offering it on something like the Palisade.
Well, and if you scroll up, they're offering a similar deal with the even more up to customer cash on the Santa Fe. And what makes it even more remarkable that they're doing this is that they're coming off of an historic sales month in July. It was their best July ever. So even though their inventory has been creeping up,
Yeah.
they have been selling it. And you can see that they're being very intentional as to how they market it and how they are incentivizing the sales of these vehicles to keep the momentum going,
Yeah.
as opposed to cutting back and just hoping that the momentum continues.
That's a really good point, Dad. A really, really good point. One more time, just to finish up the group here. Jeep obviously offering some pretty big incentives. And take stock of this, folks. It's August
2024.
2025, and they are offering on the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe 0% financing for 72 months. Similarly, August 4th, 2025, Jeep Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer 2024 model year is getting $7,750 in cash savings. So we have deals on 2024 new vehicles, and then obviously Ford being aggressive with the Bronco Sport, offering a major lease incentive, the Escape, the Explorer, and even the F-150, the STX trim level. So really interesting to see what's going on in the new car market. Again, used car market, I think, will be a little more static, a little less dynamic. Now, let's come here from Banshees. A real question for you guys. They always say keep waiting and waiting, but when is it wise to purchase a vehicle these days? Dad, when are you timing the market? With your understanding of where we are in the summer, your expectations for fall heading into winter, when are you timing the market to buy a new or used car?
Well, I let me say this. Every expert and pundit thought that we would see a significant decline in new car sales starting in July. Obviously, we didn't see that in July. So I, as one of those people, thought that they would be cutting back on some of the incentives and they would be saving their marketing money for the fourth quarter. There are some brands out there that are being very aggressive in trying to grow their market share. So if you are in the market today for a vehicle, I would look at those brands that are being very, very aggressive with their marketing dollars. And as you can see, Hyundai would be one of those brands. Ford would be one of those brands. Subaru is one of those brands. Mazda is one of those brands. So there are some opportunities today and moving forward. Now, the absolute best time to buy a car is in December of any given year. That is typically when the largest incentives are available from manufacturers, and everybody and their brother in the car industry is chasing their annual sales goals. So there is a greater motivation to make car deals in December than any other time of the year. But if you can't wait till December, you can see that there are opportunities out there any time of year. And anybody in the car business will say this to you. The best time to ever buy a car is the last week of any given month, because at the end of the month is when dealers get crazy trying to make car deals. And then they get especially crazy if that end of the month aligns with the end of a quarter, or if that end of the month aligns with the end of the year. But that you can find a deal in any month. Typically, you just have to wait till the end of it.
Dad, we've got here from Jerry as well. Would also look for a Labor Day sales push. And I think to a degree, that's what we're already starting to see. It's crazy to say it. August just started, but we're seeing the Labor Day sales that are going to be in effect in September and potentially even get, we've seen some of the automakers mid-month refresh their incentives. And that was our expectation, Dad, as we saw some automakers like Mazda, for example, losing market share, slowing down in sales while their competitors are growing in sales. Not too surprised. Maybe look to Mazda as one of the brands that's going to do a big Labor Day push. So I think Jerry's also spot on. These holidays, that's what the car business is all about. How do we turn a holiday into a sales event and a sales promotion? I think we're going to see a lot of that.
Well, the best way to do it is to just say it's a sales event.
Certainly seems that way, Dad. Certainly seems that way.
Doesn't necessarily have to be one. You just have to say it's one.
Pops, let's switch gears here for a moment. There was some really interesting data in automotive news talking about finance and insurance, and I want to take a moment here to really let this be a lesson for all of us that tune into this show. The way that car dealerships make a lot of money on us as customers is in the
Yes.
finance and insurance office. Do dealers make money selling cars? Sure. There's a spread between the invoice price and the price they sell it for. As a friendly reminder, you can access invoice price, what the dealer pays for a vehicle, back on CarEdge.com on the car search with CarEdge Insights. That being said, the real moneymaker, Dad, is in
Yes.
finance and insurance, which is placing the loan for the consumer
Yes.
and selling insurance products like extended warranties, gap insurance, tire and
Yes.
wheel protection, dent and ding
Yes.
protection, paint and fabric protection, load jet. I mean, the list goes on and on.
It does.
And we now have a comprehensive data set from 100 dealer groups of their F&I revenues. And I've actually sorted this. I'm gonna zoom in a second. I've sorted this by which dealer groups make the most money per vehicle sold in F&I. And I'm going to put you on the spot, Dad, and I'll put our community on the spot too. What do you think the dealership group that makes the most money per vehicle sold in F&I makes per vehicle? What do you think it is? $1,000, $10,000? What do you think?
No. I mean, I looked earlier. I noticed that there were a handful of outliers that are making in excess of $3,500 per vehicle sold in the finance office. And some of these dealer groups, the amount of money that they make off of finance as the entire dealer group is in excess of, you're sitting down, are you not? In excess of $1 billion for the group in a year for a finance profit. Unbelievable number. But for the most part, the average is probably in the low to mid 2000s, and then upwards of in the mid 3s.
I mean, your biggest outlier here, I'm going to scroll up and you'll all be able to see it in a second. Wait for it. We're still going. Right there, folks. $4,394 that this dealership group, the Nilo company, Hendrick Automotive, right below that at $3,655. Courtesy Automotive Group making $3,625. Cavender down in Texas making $3,584.
It makes you wonder.
It's a lot of money to make for every vehicle sold.
It makes me wonder how it is that their F&I profit per vehicle sold is so much higher than the industry average.
Yeah.
What is it? What are their techniques that they're utilizing that is allowing them to be as successful as they are in selling these products? So it's interesting because I know, for instance, the Penske group was at around $1,600 profit per vehicle sold, and so you would think somebody at Penske has to be going, well, how do we get to where AutoNation is at $2,600 or $2,700 per car, or how do we get to where Niello is at $4,300 per car? What is the secret? What is their secret sauce? And sometimes, if you look at this list, it might be a leading indicator as to where you might want to buy your next car, because if you go to the Niello group or the Hendrick group, you are going to get hammered in the finance office to buy something.
Yeah, it seems that way. And Dad, I think it's a great reminder that we offer car buying services back at CarEdge.com. This is the purpose of these car buying services, folks, to defend you and protect you during this part of the car buying process, whether it's our negotiation expert service or the full car buying concierge service. These are great solutions for those of you that don't necessarily want to deal with going to battle against these corporations that are making $3,000, $3,100, $3,000. I mean, these dealership groups are making upwards of $4,394 off of customers because they are not necessarily the most informed or ready to go to battle in the F&I office, and our car buying services protect you from that. Go for it, Dad.
Well, I was just going to say, at Niello, where they're at $4,400 a car, it's down $300 and some from the year before. So my guess is there's got to be a finance manager somewhere there getting fired for losing $300 per copy. I think Jerry said it best in the comments. It's when you see numbers like this, it's where when the salespeople give you a quote, the payment is always quoted with the extended warranty, the dent and ding repair, the excess wear, whatever the hell it is, it's already built into the payment that they're giving you. And so it doesn't even require much of a sales effort from the finance manager's perspective because the payment's already packed with all the stuff in there.
Dad, it's fascinating. Justice has brought to light something that I think is really interesting. Anyone surprised that one of the co-owners of the Niello Group is now a senator, a state senator in California? There you go. That's fascinating. That's just, maybe that's just a coincidence.
Yes, more than likely. Yeah.
Yeah, let's come here from Charles. Thank you, Charles. We appreciate
Thank
the kind
you, Charles.
contribution. Zach, how's the post-Japan depression for you? My fiance and I got engaged there in April. Congratulations, Charles.
Yes, congratulations.
All we can think about is going back. I'm grateful to be home. That's all I'll say. Japan was beautiful, but I am grateful to be in this time zone and back home. Josh here saying, where are Carvana's numbers on the list? They're actually off the chart. They're on their own separate list.
Yes.
Over at Carvana, supposedly making almost $8,000 per vehicle sold. Dad, we got this kind message here. This weekend, I used your tactics to purchase a 2025 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport Premium SEL R line, 8% off MSRP. Thanks, Pops and Zach. Love to read a message like that and saw your email as well. So thank you.
Yes. I was going to say, I saw his email. I didn't respond to it yet. And now I don't have to.
Hey, well, I want to take a second here, y'all, if you don't mind. I want to acknowledge a really cool moment for me and my dad today and the whole CarEdge team. Wall Street Journal has a special section called on venture capital, which is really neat. And today, an article, was published. And if you scroll down in that article, you find us.
Whoa!
This is the Wall Street Journal, folks. Me and my dad sitting here talking about our transition to the world of artificial intelligence, what we're learning there, how it's influenced our business. Really, really, really cool. So thank you to the Wall Street Journal for spending. I mean, it's pretty cool that they talk about our company here.
Yes.
They quote me in it.
Quite a bit.
It's really pretty cool. So a huge thanks to the Wall Street Journal. This is not the first time CarEdge has been mentioned in the Wall Street Journal, but it's the first time I've been in the Wall Street Journal. Dad, is it your first time in the Wall Street Journal?
Well, the only other time I was mentioned in the Wall Street Journal was when they would send me a renewal reminder. Yes, it's my first time being mentioned in the Wall Street Journal. Yes.
Pretty cool moment, y'all. And thank you, Josh. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, it's an incredible team to be a part of. And I saw a comment earlier that was like, now that we're using AI, you're going to fire everyone. No, not in the slightest. I am very opinionated and have strong beliefs that our team and human beings need to be involved, even as we find ways to leverage artificial intelligence to make us more efficient, to try and help deliver better outcomes for the automotive industry. So no, don't have any plans, don't have any intention, don't have any desire to do what we've seen some of these big companies do where there were CEOs, Dad, that came out and said, we're going to replace every single person with AI. I think that's BS. That's my personal opinion. And as long as I'm in charge of running CarEdge, that's what it'll be. But AI definitely represents a unique opportunity. And I'm grateful for the Wall Street Journal documenting our transition into that world. And like I shared at the beginning of today's show, pretty cool to see the ongoing negotiation between my agent. I mean, Dad, I went rock climbing this weekend. I ran 32 miles. I hung out with friends, and
you might have bought a BMW.
And I might have bought a BMW. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty damn cool.
It is the advent of AI, just like the advent of the internet. It changes everything, and it's all in how you embrace it, and to be able to have, I don't know how many emails back and forth between your AI agent and that.
We're up to over 10,000 instances of this agent out there. And what I think is so great is our team will still continue to contact dealerships, but now they'll have access to even more data. They'll know which dealers are adding which fees. They'll know there'll be more transparency. I mean, we've already collected in 2 weeks over 50,000 emails back and forth. I mean, this is insanity, man. And we're just scratching the surface. So it's going to change. it's going to change things. It's going to change things in a big, big, big way.
Yeah, my guess is that it moves the industry forward a lot quicker than anybody had ever envisioned. And let's face it, I mean, the industry has pretty much been stuck in the way it does business, I don't know, for the last 100+ years. And so for an industry that's used to doing things a certain way, for it to suddenly change, and what I would consider to be a change for the better,
Yeah.
this could be a pretty remarkable time moving forward, where maybe even in my lifetime I get to see significant improvements in how vehicles are retailed in this country.
And I think we, CarEdge, and our community are shaping part of that, which all of us should feel damn proud of. It's really, really awesome. Thank you, Michael, here. Congrats, gentlemen. You have much to be proud. I feel very proud today. This is a cool. I grew up. My dad wasn't kidding about getting the renewal letter from Wall Street Journal. We had the Wall Street Journal growing up in Arizona. I mean, I read it as like probably from age 8 to 12.
You know, we got 2 papers every day. We got the Arizona Republic when we lived out there, and we got the Wall Street Journal delivered to the house.
And you got automotive news delivered to the house.
Yes.
Every other week.
Every week.
So yeah, I mean, we've been in automotive news, which is a tremendous accomplishment and makes me feel insanely proud. We've also been now in Wall Street Journal, which is great. I don't think we've been in Sports Illustrated. That was a magazine you used to get delivered. So maybe.
I was.
Oh yes, actually, you and I were in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I wrote a piece that made it into Sports Illustrated.
You're so right. You're so right. My dad and I were in Sports Illustrated. Let me see if I can find it really quickly.
You know, I don't mess around.
Wait, let me see if I can find that
article. Back in the
I found it, Dad.
Back in the 80s, there was a very, very lovely article in the Atlantic City Press.
Wait, Dad, one second. Let's just focus on Sports Illustrated for a second.
Yes.
Why I Love My Team Part 2, September 10th, 2015. Guys, wait a second. There we are.
Yeah.
Wait a second. We have been in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
My young son and I were part of the 25,000 or so season ticket holders who went to Sun Devil Stadium. It is not even a nice college stadium, and lived through the Joe Buell era and the Buddy Ryan "You've Got a Winner in Town" era, and the Vince Tobin era, the Dave McGinnis era, and the Dennis Green "They Are Who We Thought They Were" era, onto the Ken Whisenhunt and finally the Bruce Arians era. Hell, at 64, I've lived through more eras than any sports fan should have to endure. Now I live in Maryland, but a Cardinals victory still makes or breaks my football Sundays. What a cute note from you, Dad.
And that was 10 years ago that I wrote
Wow.
that. Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. So, you have appeared, not in the swimsuit issue, but you have appeared in Sports Illustrated. And that picture was taken at Gillette Stadium in New England.
Yeah, I think we're both, if I may for a moment, Dad, I think we're aging well, you and me. I think we're looking good.
Well, for an old guy,
Well,
then you have shown some age. You look in this picture you were cutish, and now I would, and I know I'll get all kinds of comments, but now I believe you look ruggedly handsome.
Wow, thank you, Dad. I love that so much. Also, if anyone ever wondered if my dad was faking being in the car business, there he is wearing his Mini of Baltimore hat. I mean, this is what he did for his whole life, folks. So anyway, all right, guys, we're going to call it a show. We're back tomorrow with more CarEdge Live. I'm out on Wednesday, Pops. I've got some in-person meetings up in the big city, Manhattan, New York. So if anyone's in Manhattan on Wednesday and you see me, say hi. It's always fun running into our community members up there. But Justice, I think, will come in with you on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. But we're back tomorrow. More CarEdge Live. I'm sure we'll have more fun stuff to talk about. All right?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.